When the fog, thick and heavy, rolls in at the base of Mount Yote, blanketing the landscape in an ethereal embrace, a palpable shift occurs. The air itself seems to thicken, carrying with it an ancient energy. The locals, deeply attuned to the rhythms of the mountain, fall silent. Their eyes, etched with generations of wisdom and respect, turn towards the swirling mists. It's not peace that descends upon the village, not a comfortable quiet, but a deep, almost reverential respect for what the mist conceals, for the secrets it holds within its swirling depths. They understand that the fog is more than just a weather phenomenon, it's a veil. They say you can hear things in the fog, subtle sounds that defy explanation, whispers carried on the damp air. It's not the familiar rustling of wind through the trees nor the calls of the wildlife that inhabit the slopes, but something else entirely, something otherworldly. A presence made audible, a whisper faint and fleeting, a mournful cry that seems to echo from the very heart of the mountain, as if the mountain itself, a silent sentinel for centuries, is finally finding its voice, speaking in hushed tones to those who dare to listen. This isn't just weather, a simple atmospheric condition, it's a warning, a sign that the boundaries between worlds are thinning. Elders, keepers of ancient lore, urge you to turn back, to heed the mountain's silent plea. Turn back when the fog descends, when it blankets the slopes and obscures the path ahead. They know, from countless generations of experience, that what lurks within the fog's embrace is not meant for the eyes or the understanding of the living. The fog is a shroud, a veil drawn between realities, and beneath its ethereal embrace, the mountain itself seems to change. Trails twist and turn, leading nowhere. The air grows heavy with an unseen presence, and you feel watched by unseen eyes. Here on Mount Yote, the fog is the harbinger, the herald, of something ancient, something powerful and something unseen, a force that has slumbered for millennia. Hikers lost in the swirling mists report hearing their names called from the fog's depths, a disembodied voice cutting through the silence, a chilling invitation, both alluring and terrifying, to step off the marked path and into the unknown. The sound is both distant, as if carried on the wind from a far-off place, and intimately close, as if whispered directly into your ear, a secret meant only for you. This is a classic sign whispered among paranormal investigators, of a residual haunting, emotional energy, imprinted upon the landscape, replaying a tragic moment, forever trapped within the mountain's embrace. For the locals who live in the shadow of its majestic peak, Mount Yote is far more than just a geographical landmark. It's a sentient being, a living entity with its own moods, its own desires, and its own hidden intentions. The fog is its breath, a visible manifestation of its inner state, and the whispers carried within its swirling embrace are its voice, a language understood only by those who truly listen. Ignore these signs, dismiss the warnings as mere superstition, and you risk becoming part of the mountain's silent, chilling mystery, another soul lost to the whispering fog. Those who foolishly challenge the whispering fog, who believe they can conquer its mysteries, often become another warning, a cautionary tale whispered among the locals, a reminder of the mountain's power and the fog's enduring mystery. Mount Yote on Hokkaido is a near-perfect stratovolcano, majestic, symmetrical, and breathtaking. Its beauty is legendary, lush forests in summer, fiery colors in autumn, pristine snow in winter. But this beauty is a mask, hiding a much darker reputation. The mountain's appearance can change in an instant, clear skies swallowed by impenetrable fog, turning paradise into peril. The very features that make it beautiful become deadly traps when visibility drops. This duality is at the core of its haunting. It lures you in, then reveals its true menacing nature. For the indigenous Ainu, mountains like Yote were kamui, gods, both revered and feared. The energy here is ancient, predating modern ghost stories. Every resident knows someone with a strange experience on its slopes. Mount Yote is a place of breathtaking beauty locked in a struggle with a dark, unseen force. At the heart of the mountain's haunting is a tragic legend. A young woman betrothed to a samurai she'd never met climbed Yote to pray for happiness, carrying a mirror from her mother. As she prayed, a cold, unnatural fog enveloped her. A jealous spirit within the mountain, entranced by her purity, refused to let her leave. The samurai searched for her in vain, his grief binding him to the mountain as well. The woman's spirit, trapped by the entity, is said to be the source of the mournful whispers in the fog. Her ghost lures hikers deeper into the mist, into the clutches of the dark entity. The legend is not just a ghost story, it's a tale of love, loss, and eternal sorrow. On certain nights, locals claim you can hear her weeping, carried on the wind from the upper slopes. The legend of the mountain's spirits and their deceptive nature might be easily dismissed as mere folklore, a quaint story told around campfires. But the unsettling reality is that these tales are often intertwined with the very real cases of people vanishing on Mount Yote, never to be seen again. The mountain holds a dark secret, shrouded in mist and mystery. The mountain has claimed many hikers over the years, their stories serving as chilling reminders of the mountain's unpredictable nature. Climbers, driven by the challenge of its slopes, have also fallen victim to the mountain's treacherous conditions, and skiers, lured by the pristine powder snow, have found themselves lost in its unforgiving embrace. These disappearances often occur when a sudden dense fog appears, blanketing the mountain in an instant, disorienting even the most experienced individuals. Even experienced mountaineers equipped with modern gear and advanced navigation systems have disappeared without a trace, leaving behind only unanswered questions and lingering fear. One infamous case stands out, a stark reminder of the mountain's power. It involves a university hiking club in the 1980s, a group of young adventurers eager to conquer the peak. 5 students, full of youthful exuberance, set out on what should have been a memorable expedition. Only one returned to tell the tale, forever haunted by what transpired on that fateful day. The sole survivor recounted how the others, one by one, wandered into the fog, their figures swallowed by the swirling mist. He claimed they were drawn by whispers, faint voices carried on the wind, beckoning them deeper into the unknown. Despite extensive searches conducted in the following days, no trace of the missing students was ever found, leaving their families in perpetual grief and uncertainty. Search and rescue teams, familiar with the mountain's treacherous conditions, often describe the fog as if it were alive, a sentient entity with its own agenda. They report it moving against the wind, defying natural patterns, and creating strange cold pockets that send shivers down their spines. Compasses spin erratically, GPS devices fail without explanation, and rescuers often hear cries for help that lead them in circles, deeper and deeper into the disorienting maze of fog. The mountain doesn't just hide people within its misty veil, it actively misleads those who dare to search, playing tricks on their senses and distorting their perception of reality. Despite advancements in technology and increased awareness of the mountain's dangers, disappearances continue even today, defying explanation and fueling the legends. As recently as 2018, a seasoned hiker with years of experience vanished without a trace, after reporting a sudden and unusually thick fog descending upon the mountain, and a strange, almost hypnotic song carried on the air, a melody that seemed to emanate from the fog itself. Despite extensive searches involving helicopters, trained dogs, and countless volunteers, nothing was ever found, not even a single piece of equipment. It's as if the fog itself consumes those who enter its domain, erasing all evidence of their existence, leaving behind only whispers and unanswered questions. The elders' stories are not just ghost tales whispered around a crackling fire, they are so much more than simple spooky narratives. They're warnings, carefully passed down through generations as a sacred duty, a vital responsibility to protect those who come after. These aren't just stories to entertain, they are lessons etched in fear and respect. They speak of the mountain as possessive and lonely, a sentient being with its own desires and whims. It watches, it waits, and it remembers. Sometimes the elders say the mountain takes people to keep them company, to fill the void of its eternal solitude. These disappearances are not random, they are choices made by the mountain itself. One tale, chillingly familiar, features the Yuki Onna, the Snow Woman, a spectral figure of immense beauty and deadly intent. She lures lost hikers, those foolish enough to underestimate the mountain's power, with false promises of safety and warmth, a siren song in the howling wind. But her embrace is a fatal one, only to lead them to their doom, a frozen grave in the unforgiving landscape. Another warns of the Teng, mischievous and powerful creatures, part bird, part human, guardians of the forest. These trickster spirits punish the disrespectful, those who defile the mountain's sanctity, by leading them astray, deeper and deeper into the labyrinthine woods, until they are hopelessly lost. But perhaps the most chilling belief, the one that truly grips the heart with dread, those who die on Yote are not granted release. They are trapped, bound to the mountain for eternity. Their spirits joining the chorus of whispers in the fog, a constant lament echoing through the valleys, a haunting reminder of the mountain's power. Disappearances are feared not just for the immediate loss of life, the grief and sorrow they bring, but for the eternal damnation of the soul, the prospect of being forever lost within the mountain's embrace. To die on Yote is not simply to cease living, it is to become a part of the mountain, to wander its misty slopes forever, a prisoner of its beauty and its darkness. The mountain sorrow is a living presence, a palpable weight that hangs in the air, a constant reminder of the lives it has claimed. And so, the elders urge respect above all, a deep and abiding reverence for the mountain's power and its mysteries. Their warnings are woven into daily life, ingrained in every action and decision, a constant undercurrent of caution, shaping how the community lives, breathes, and survives in the mountain's shadow, forever mindful of its presence and its power. One story stands out, a prophecy from the Edo period. A monk named Ryogen, famed for sensing spirits, climbed Yotei to perform rites. He returned shaken, warning the elders that the mountain was a vessel for a powerful ancient entity, a jibakure, a spirit bound to place. Ryogen described a spiritual vortex, a wound in reality, drawing in lost souls and amplifying sorrow. The fog, he said, was the entity's tool to confuse and capture the living. He tried to ward the mountain but confessed his power was insufficient. Ryogen warned never to climb during Oban or the solstices, when the veil between worlds is thin. His warning endures, the mountain's curse is too deep to break. Kenji, a former student, shared a nightmarish experience from a night climb in 2012. He and friends dismissed the legends, starting their ascent under clear skies. Near the summit, a strange fog formed, enveloping them in minutes. The temperature dropped and an oppressive silence fell. They heard soft weeping from all directions, their electronics suddenly died. Panic set in as the weeping grew louder. Through the fog they saw a pale, feminine figure at the crater's edge, shoulders shaking. Against protests, one friend called out. The figure turned, revealing a face of swirling mist and empty voids for eyes. A guttural moan of agony and rage filled the air. Terrified, they fled down the mountain, chased by the sound of weeping. They reached the bottom at dawn, forever changed. Kenji's story is a chilling reminder. The legends are not just stories. The haunted fog is real. Is Mount Yotei truly haunted, or is it all in our minds? Paranormal investigators point to centuries of consistent reports, whispers, fog, apparitions, as evidence of real spiritual activity. They believe the mountain's geology amplifies residual energy, making it a paranormal hotspot. The malfunctioning electronics and disorienting fog are seen as signs of a powerful entity. Skeptics, however, offer natural explanations. Suggestion fatigue and the mountain's harsh environment can cause hallucinations and fear. Geologists cite orographic fog and magnetic anomalies. Psychologists point to the mind's power to create ghosts from shadows. Infrasound from wind and geology can trigger dread and the sense of a presence. Whether supernatural or psychological, the mountain's reputation endures. Despite official silence, the fear among locals is real and deeply ingrained. Avoidance is the rule. Certain days and times no one goes near the mountain. This isn't about weather but a spiritual calendar honored for generations. During Oban, when spirits return, the mountain's entity is said to be most powerful and lonely, searching for souls. To climb during Oban is unthinkable for locals. The winter solstice is another forbidden time when the mountain's sorrow is at its peak. The ghost fog descends, carrying despair that can overwhelm anyone caught within. This fear shapes daily life. Children warned, farmers home by dusk, the community holding its breath as the fog creeps down. They know the cost of ignoring the warnings, so if you stood on the trail as the fog rolled in, hearing a whisper, would you turn back?